recording the computer. So first of all, I just wanted to say congratulations to you again. I know you had some good advice for your fellow test takers. So I'll give you a couple minutes in front of class to give some advice.
All right. Yeah, I passed my GED, and and Mr. Tivy also gave some great advice, and I'm telling you, take it to heart, whatever you do. When you get stopped on a question and you don't know the answer, flag it. Don't hesitate. Don't sit there and think about it, because it is not going to do nothing but mess your brain up. Flag it and move on. And when you go back to it, and this is what I did, there was 3 questions I didn't understand in the test, and I hate slopes. It was about slopes. And I flagged it. When I went back to it, the answers just popped in my head, like automatically just popped in my head. Like I couldn't believe it. Like, wow. So please, and whatever you do, just study. I'm telling you, because if you don't, yeah, learn the language of it. And that's very important, is the language. Definitely the language of the problems, because I didn't understand the language. So whatever y'all do that. I'm telling you, and stick with it. Even if you don't pass, stick with it until you get it. Whatever you do, don't give up. Please don't give up.
So 2 things she said that was very important. First of all, is when you get to a difficult problem, don't waste 4, 5, 6 minutes on a problem. Get past that problem. Skip it, flag it for review. You want to finish the problems you can do, because if you finish the medium, the easy and medium difficult problems, what happens is, what did she say? She said when she came back to it, what happened was she built up her confidence. So now her self-esteem felt better. She wasn't intimidated by the question. So now she started getting the answers correct. She started feeling good about herself. So then when she came back to that difficult question that she thought was so difficult, now it wasn't so difficult. Now she looked at it and said, wow, I got it. And that's what happens. Don't let those difficult problems affect your psyche. Flag it and skip it. Come back to it. Because remember, the test is 120 minutes. If you have 120 minutes divided by about 40 questions, that's about 3 minutes on average for each question. So then if you divide by 3, about 40, you got about 13 easy questions, 13 medium, 13 difficult. Understand that even if you skip 13 difficult problems and came back to those 13 difficult problems, if you got the easy and medium questions correct, you still would pass the exam.
Exactly.
So don't get caught up in those difficult problems. Very good advice. Thank you.
Yeah,
and congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm so happy.
So now we're going to go ahead and get started. Is there any types of problems that people had during the week? I know, Nina, you said, now what you want to do problems. Did you get it?
I just sent it to you, Mr. Sedley.
You just in my email?
No, I sent it through your phone. I don't have the email.
My text.
I just sent it to your phone.
You better stop playing. You don't have my email. Stop playing.
I don't.
I don't have your email. You better stop playing. Oh my God. And don't even worry about that one. Wow.
That's funny. I have a problem.
So what you would do, I'll explain that question to you. You will never have a question. So let me just read this question. It says, the circumference of a circle is 36 pi. Contained in that circle is a smaller circle with area 16 pi. A point is selected at random from inside the larger circle. What is the probability that the point also lies in the smaller circle? You will never get something that hard in the GED. Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about that. You will never have anything that difficult. So what they're going to ask you on the GED in terms of circumference, they either ask you for the circumference, to find the circumference of a circle. They'll ask you to find the area of a circle, or they'll give you the area, or they'll give you the circumference. So look, one of the most missed questions. So remember, I don't want you getting yourself all caught up, because everybody got all these books and all these things going on. This is the most missed questions on your exam. Compute the area and circumference of circles. Find the radius or diameter of a circle when given the area circumference. So that question that you sent me, that's not, that difficulty is not even in the concepts that you need to know for the GED. Compute the area and circumference of a circle, find the radius and diameter of a circle when given the area circumference. That's what you require to know. All right.
All right. I sent you another one though. I had a couple of them.
Let me see.
This weekend, Deptford Police.
And again, with probability, it's either simple probability or compound probability. So this is what they don't tell you. Probability you can teach, you could probably have it's a whole math class in college for probability. So what I want you to do is in the probability, are these the probability ones that I put on Schoology? Or do you just put probability in Khan Academy?
That one under Schoology is under your stuff. All this is under your stuff.
Okay. So that's one thing about Khan Academy sometimes I don't like, because they'll go from a simple problem to a very difficult problem.
Yeah.
So I would rather you use in Schoology the exams and the quizzes and assessments that I made for you. Now you can use the CK12 and the Khan Academy for practice, but if you really want to get to types of problems that the GED is going to give you, look at those Schoology assessments that I created. All right.
But I went in there. I went under Schoology. This is under Schoology.
This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. I know it's under Schoology. So I have CK12 and Khan Academy assessments under Schoology. What I'm talking about, let me show you.
Okay.
Let me show you.
Yeah, you gotta show. You have to show me.
So you go under here. Okay, you got your math lessons. Okay. So now under your math lessons is where you find. So if you go into probability, where are you? Right here.
Can you show me the screen? It's not on the screen.
Oh, you don't see it? Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. Hold on. I'm sitting here and sharing. I'm thinking I'm talking. You seeing everything. So when you go into Schoology under math lessons, you might have probability. Take this pretest, and look at the notes. Okay. Here is the online practice for Khan Academy and CK12. This is what you're talking about. That's the links I created for you in here. Okay. But there are other practice problems here. Practice tests and additional practice problems. So if you go under here, you'll find other problems under here. Probability, simple, and compound. These are ones that pre-test in this assessment here will give you the types of problems that you can expect. This is what I've explained to a gentleman earlier. We were talking about fractions. And in school, when you're in school, it might take you 2, 3, 4 weeks to go over fractions. What you should understand is fractions, you may only have to do 2 problems without a calculator for fractions. Same thing for probability. At most, you will have 2 questions. So I don't want you spending a whole lot of time on probability. I want you to understand simple probability and compound probability. So what that means is, what is simple probability? Selected outcomes divided by total outcomes. Compound probability is the simple probability of more than one event. So if you have 2 events, you take the simple probability of each event and you multiply them together. That's it. If it's outside that realm, don't worry about it. Okay. So that's what I probably would say. All right. So any other questions? Somebody sent me a text. What did it say?
Mr. Tisley, I had a problem with a question in your ebook.
What's
and
that?
was
Which one
it.
is that?
I'm about to take the test Friday. It was with the 2 variables, the X and the Y. You showed me how to put it in the ebook, and I did all that. But once
What's the problem?
I don't have the problem on me now, but it's like I'm gonna give you a problem. Y plus 3X equals 82.
Hold on. Y plus 3X
equals 82.
Okay.
I'm just giving you a problem. And then underneath is
You just making this up like out the blue?
yes,
No, don't do that. Don't do that. So it's a system of equations.
yes, but you got it in your ebook where I can't when I put it in the calculator, I don't know which one is the right answer.
Okay, so this is what you got to do. So let me find you an example. Exactly what I'm saying. Let me see if I got it here. Hopefully, I got it still open here somewhere. There we go.
I know I do go to my it's my data, right? Let me see what I go to.
You remember what page is on?
No.
You could think. Let's see.
It's right. I think it's right before you get to the slopes. Where you put the X and the Y in. And I didn't know you can put the X and the Y in the computer with that problem. I thought you couldn't do it with that problem. But in the ebook, you did it with that problem.
Let me see what. Let me see if we can find it. You said before the slope?
Before the slope, or let me see. Go back down. Go back down.
I'm going down. Let me see. See if we can find it. Is that it? That's standard. Let's see. Again, one of the things you want to realize is that if you're given multiple choice, right?
And plug it in.
You can plug it. You can plug those answers in. So let me find a good example.
But sometimes you don't get the multiple choice. Every now and then, like this one right here, they want you to fill it in. So if you.
So here, what they're saying is, here, okay. So if we were solving this mathematically, what I would want you to do is look at these two equations.
Oh, I know how to do this one pretty much.
So this one here, remember, system of equations, you're trying to eliminate one of the variables. So remember what I told you, I gave you 3 examples of system of equations that you're probably going to expect on the GED. Either the variables will be the opposite already, they'll be the same where you have to multiply one of the equations by negative, or you have to multiply one of the equations by multiply. In this here, the x's already cancel each other out because the opposite of 4x is minus 4x. So when you combine these, you'll get 6y equal negative 36. And if you divide both sides by 6, you get y is negative 6. So if you look at these multiple choice, you can find it's only one here that x and y, where your y is negative 6, which is B. Now, how would you solve a system of equations? You would plug this back in. So you could plug it back in and say 4x plus 8 times minus 6 equal minus 24. You get 4x minus 48 equal negative 24. Add 48 to both sides. You get 4x equal 24. Divide both sides by 4. You get x equals 6. Okay, so that's how you solve it algebraically. What I'm suggesting is that if you understand what an equation is, that you could plug these values in. So when x is 1, store x, 4, store y. And you plug it in to both those equations. So if I write minus 4x minus 2y, if that ordered pair solves that equation, I should get negative 12. I do. So it worked for the first equation. But remember what a system of equation means. It has to work for both. So 4x plus 8y. I should get negative 24. I do not. I now know A cannot be it.
Right.
Again, then you do that same thing for B. 6 store x minus 6 store y. And then you plug into those equations again. Minus 4x minus 2y. I should get minus 12, and I do. So now I want to plug in my second equation. 4x plus 8y. I should get negative 24. I do. Now I know, without even doing any algebra, B is my answer. So that's what I meant by the different ways of solving a system of equations. So if they give you X and Y, they give you both X and Y, you can plug it into both of those equations to see if which one satisfies both equations. And that's one of the ways, instead of doing, because anybody who's been practicing with system of equations knows it takes you 4 to 5 minutes to solve it. Like literally, it's going to take you a while. So you want to so this is why in Schoology, I give you those different types of system of equations. Now, how many system of equations you going to have? At most 2. They're going to give you explicit system of equations, and then they're going to give you a word problem. With the word problem, they're going to give you the answers, or give you the multiple choice, and usually you can plug those multiple choice in instead of trying to solve it algebraically. So, and this is, again, these are the same things over again, how to use the calculator. But again, with system of equations, you may have 1 or 2.
Okay.
So this is step by step how you would do it. So when you go in the ebook, it's walking you through step by step to make sure you know how to do it. But what's more important than that is the concept of storing a variable in this calculator. If you notice, I can store X, I can store Y. So not only can you use it for a quadratic equation, not only can you use it for a system of equation, not only can you use it to evaluate an algebraic expression, not only can you use it to evaluate a function. So listen to that one concept. Learning to store a variable on this calculator will help you with 4 to 5 problems. So that's what's also important, that you understand that and understand what equation is. So whatever's on that left side must equal that on that right side. So if I have either 1 variable or 2 variables, and they give me the answers, I can plug those in. And that's very important for you to understand, because if one thing you know about multiple choice, one of those multiple choices is the answers. And that's one of the things you got to be, that's one thing. And again, I know I have 10 practice tests. I know you can take them 5 times a piece. I know they 2 hours, but I would suggest taking those practice exams, whether you score 30 or 40 or 50, don't get discouraged. It don't count. But what you're doing is you're identifying what you know and what you don't know. So if you get a 30, you get a 20, don't get discouraged. Say, you know what? I need to work on that. So now, since I need to work on finding the slope, let me go to the part where it just had under slope. So I make sure I know how to do slope, and I'll work on that. Then I come back to it. So don't get discouraged about the low score. That doesn't matter. You can't fail when you're taking it yourself. That's just an indication to you what you need to work on. So what you'll see is once you're scoring on the practice exams over 60, schedule your one-on-one with me, and you go and take your exam and go and pass and be done. So that's what I would suggest. Don't worry yourself too much about the low scores. That's just an indication of what you need to work on. Let's see. Do I have Schoology still open? I think I do. Let me open it up. Well, first of all, let me ask any other questions that people had during the week.
Mr. Tinsley, I
Yes.
had a problem with the page 65, question 9 and 10.
In the ebook?
Yes.
65, 9, and 10. Oh, yes. Okay. So this is, Jabez counted the number of students each class on the second floor. There were 20, 31, 20, 18, 16, 20, 16, and 11. So again, what I would say is use the calculator, first of all. Again, use your calculator because they want to find the median and they want to find the mean. The mode you have to find yourself. What appears most, you'll see 20 appears the most. But what I would say, first of all, in a question like this, is I'm a proponent of this calculator. So all you're going to do is go to data. Oops, I can't even see the numbers. Go to data. Let me clear everything out first. Go to data. And then start putting your numbers in. 20, 31, 20, 18, 16, 20. And I think I have some more numbers on the next, 16 and 11. Why? Because if they give you mean and median, You don't have to do any work. You let the calculator do it for you. Second, data, one variable, calculate. So what you notice is here, the mean is right there, X bar. So your average is 19. It does it for you. Scroll down, what's my median? We're looking for MED. My median is also 19. Okay, so that's an easy way. Mean and median shouldn't give you too many issues. Now, it says, what is the mode, which is 20? What is the range? Range is the highest number minus the lowest. So 31 minus 11. So that's 20. If Jabez counts one more room of students, the new average is 20. So this is the thing. The new average is 20. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If we add one more room, that's 9 rooms. Got me?
Okay.
Got me?
Yes.
If the average is 20, if we want to find the total number of people in all the classrooms, we multiply by the average. So then that means in all 9 rooms, there are 180 people. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Now, we take the amount that we already had, this total, whatever that total is, and we subtract from 180 to get that missing classroom. So let's just do it real quick. And you can do it however you want. If you want to do it by hand and do 20 plus 31, we'll do that. Let's see. Let me put it over here first. 20 plus 31 plus 20 plus 18 plus 16 plus 20 plus 16 plus 11. We got that total. We subtract that from 180. 180 minus 152. That last classroom had 28 people. And that's one of the most missed questions on your GED, that if they give you the mean, you want to work opposite. So let me explain what I'm talking about. Hold on. Because some people heads might be exploding right now. So I want to make sure I want to, so say for example, I'm just going to make some numbers up. 80, 87, 85, 82, and 90. Correct? So to find the average, what would I do to these numbers?
Add.
Sum them up or add them up, right? So you get 12, 14, carry a 1, 32, 40, 42, right? 42, 24, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then how many you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5.
Find the average. 8, 24. That's 4. That's 20. That's 411. So we have 84 and 4/5, or 84.8, which is our mean. If we were rounding off to the nearest whole number, it would be 85.
85.
So understand, to find the mean, what we did, we added them up, then we divided by how many there are. Say if we know the mean, that means you're working in the opposite direction. So we add it, then we divide it. So if I know the mean, then I'm multiplying, then I'm subtracting. So if you notice on that example, I took the mean 20, multiplied it by the number of rooms 9, got my total, then I subtracted the total of the previous 8 rooms. So you're doing the opposite. Got me? Now, again, that's one of the most missed questions. Make sure you know how to do it. A lot of times they'll give you like maybe one of those. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. But again, it's the opposite operation. So if they're giving you the mean, you multiply, then subtract for the ones you know. Got me?
Yes, sir.
All right. Any other questions? There's some good questions tonight. Y'all better stop playing. Ooh. That means people been working. I love it. I love it. I love it. Let me look at some of the submissions real quick.
Question.
Huh?
No, I said they answered a lot of my questions that I had about the plugging in. I know how to plug the variables in, so I just wanted to, they answered it for me.
Okay, good, good, good. And that's one of the things, and that's one of the things about these sessions, especially since you have a recording, that you can actually go back
Mm-hmm.
and look at him and say, you know what, I didn't understand quite what he said then, but let me go back over it, I can see it. So let me real quick, I'm gonna open up an example. I know Nina talked about circumference and area. So I want to make sure we all on the same page with that types of problem. So again, we all know how to do the area circumference of a circle. And if you don't, you should, because they're guaranteed questions. But sometimes what they do is they give you the mean, or they give you the circumference, and they want you to identify what the radius or the diameter is. So let me find a question real quick. Again, and if you took the exam, you know what I'm saying is 100% correct. Because there's certain problems that you're always going to see. Now, let me hide the name real quick. Oops, let me hide the name. So that was the area. So that's straightforward. Your radius is 14 pi r squared. That's pretty straightforward. Again, this is pretty straightforward. What's the circumference? 2 pi r. So 24 times pi, which is 3.14. Pretty straightforward. But what if you have something like this? Now, the answer is there, but
Find the radius of each circle.
I'm gonna change. I'm gonna move it down.
They
Let's look
did
at
it
number
already.
7. I know. So that's why I said let's do number 7.
Okay.
If the circumference is 12 3/4 miles, what's the radius of the circle? So you're given the circumference is 12 3/4. How can I find the radius of this circle? Interesting. How would you even start that problem?
I thought you divided by pi or square.
You do.
Nope, not at all.
You don't divide by pi? By
This is
2?
this what I need you to understand.
I'm sorry. That's
For
wrong.
any question, first identify your givens.
Okay.
So first of all, what did they give us?
The circumference.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I know the circumference is 12, and I'm gonna change mine to a decimal, because I know 3/4 is 0.75, correct?
Yes.
So now the next given is they gave me the circumference, but I know the circumference, the formula to find the circumference. Can anybody tell me what is the formula to find the circumference of a circle?
2 pi r radius.
Squared. 2 pi r.
2 pi r. So make sure we understand the difference.
Okay.
The area of a circle is pi r squared. The circumference of a circle is either 2 pi r or diameter times pi. Because they gave us the circumference, this is the formula I'm going to use for my formula sheet. So because I know that, and I know what C is, how would I solve for R? So again, look at this equation here. C equal 2 pi R. So now we're going to go to the algebraic concepts. How can I solve for R? How can I get R all by itself? What do I need to get rid of to get R by itself? Well, easy. Pi and what else?
Pi and is it R?
No. This is
Pi and 2.
Pi and 2.
That's right.
Now, so I need to get rid of 2 pi, right?
Yeah.
So what does 2 pi r mean? What operation is happening with 2 pi r? What operation is happening?
Multiplication.
Multiplication. What is the opposite of multiplication?
Divide.
What am I going to divide by?
Is you going to divide
pi?
And what else?
2 pi.
2 pi. Because remember, this is very important. I want to get R by itself. By knowing I need to get rid of 2 in the pi and it being multiplied, that tells me I need to do the inverse operation. So I need to divide by 2 pi.
Okay.
Whatever I do on one side,
you got to do to the other.
I do on the other. So if I look at the right side, what happens to the 2 2's?
They cancel out.
What happens to the 2 pi's?
Cancel.
So now I'm left with just R is equal to C divided by 2 pi. Do I know what the circumference is?
Yes.
What is the circumference?
It's 12.75.
So 12.75
Divided by
by
2.
2. Do I know
Which-
what pi is?
3.14.
Yes.
0.14. Yeah.
Now look how I set it up. I set it up in a way so when I grab my calculator, I can put it exactly the way I see it. So again, that's why it's so important for you to have your formula sheet, your calculator out every time you're doing math. Because why? Because now watch this. Let me clear everything out. And I'm going to put it in exactly the way to. So since I had this line, 12.75 divided by 2 times pi, what am I going to hit on my calculator first?
ND.
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 Yeah. Mhm.
Now, I don't, if you notice, when I'm talking about multiplication or division, I don't use the multiplication symbol. I don't use the division symbol. When I'm multiplying, I use parentheses. When I use division, I use ND. Because why? Once I set the formula up, I can type it in exactly the way I see it. 12.75, 2 in parentheses, which is multiplication.
That's
Parentheses, close it. Get out of my fraction, press enter. My R is
what I
what?
got. That's what I got.
2.
2. So my R is 2 because you got to round off to the nearest whole number, or nearest 10th. So the nearest 10th is 2.0.
Yeah.
That's it. So again, a lot of people get this type of problem incorrect. So let me go back to the questions real quick. And let me clear this real quick. Let me maximize the calculator so you can see the steps that I took for you to get it. And then let me, like you said, that was I saw the answers, Mr. T. Let me just go back to the questions.
Yeah.
That way we won't see the answer. And then let's walk through these questions step by step. So here we go right here. So here go, let's look at number 9. It says, find the radius of each circle. If necessary, round to the nearest 10th. That's important. Because most people, when they tell us to round, we round incorrectly. So we're going to do this problem from beginning to end. First of all, we need to identify our givens. What are they giving us?
The area.
The area.
Area equals 78.5 inches squared. What do they want to know?
They want to find the radius.
So
can
somebody tell me the formula to find the area of a circle?
Pi R2.
Area equal.
Not pi R2.
Pi
R squared.
Square. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Because pi R2 is multiplication.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Okay, so again, now I've been doing this for a long time. But what you should notice is the method in what I'm doing. I'm identifying my givens. From my givens, I'm given a formula that I'm going to get from my formula sheet. I am writing that formula down. Now, I need to solve for R. Oh my goodness. How can I solve for R? So if I have pi R squared, what do I need to get rid of first to get R by itself?
Pi.
What's the opposite of multiplication?
Division.
Division. So I'm divide both sides by pi. Does everybody understand that?
Yes.
On the right side, what happens to the 2 pi's?
Cancel out.
They cancel out. So I'm left with R squared equal area divided by pi. Now, is R by itself? No, it doesn't say R equal. So how can, if I have R squared, how can I get R by itself? What's the inverse operation of squaring something?
Square root.
Square root. So I'm taking the square root of both sides. So now I have the square root of the area divided by pi is equal to
R.
You're not going to see this on your formula sheet. But what you should know is if they give you the area and they ask for the radius or diameter, this is the formula you're going to use. So you program it into your brain. So when you get to this problem, if they give you this problem on exam, you laughing all the way to the bank. I got you. You can hear me talking in your ear. Mr. Tisley said we're going to get it. Square root of area. Now, what did I tell you? We're going to use our calculator. We're not making any mistakes.
That's right.
We're going to use the tool that they said that we could use on this exam. So again, let me clear everything out. Let me make it a little smaller so we can see what we have here. So again, how do I get to the square root symbol?
Second,
Second.
Second,
X over square.
second, and x squared. So
Yeah.
now, inside the square root, I got division. What should I press?
Indeed,
ND.
ND. What is my area?
78.5.
78.5. I'm going to hit my down arrow. What is pi?
3.14.
314.
3.14. I'm going to get out of my fraction. I'm going to get out of my square root. I'm going to press enter. R is equal to what?
5.
5. So my radius is 5. What if they ask for the diameter? What's my diameter?
10.
10.
10. So what I just showed you, no matter
Oh, that
what
was
they ask you
easy.
for, if they ask you for the radius, if they ask you for the diameter, we know how to solve for both. Again, I just showed you that this is one of the most missed questions. So now, if you know it's one of the most missed questions, you better make sure you know how to do it. Because if you
Amen.
don't, who is it on? It's on you.
You? Yep. You got
If
that
somebody
right.
told me these are the most missed questions, let's deduct something. In order to be the most missed question, they got to ask that question, don't they?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So again, this is why I sent that list out of the most missed questions. This is why I have YouTube videos of the most missed questions. This is why in my ebook, I give you a shortcut and I say, if they give you that area and they want to find that the radius or the diameter, it's the square root of the area divided by pi. Okay, let's try the next one. Let me maximize this. Let me maximize the calculator so we can take a picture of it.
If they ask for the radius?
They asked us for, what did they ask us for? The radius, right?
No, I'm just asking, is the next question like that?
Now look at the next one. Now,
Okay.
most people get this wrong. Now, this question came from the task, which is an equivalent of the GED. It's another test like the GED. Normally on the GED, they don't put in terms of pi, but it doesn't matter. You should know what pi is. You should know whether they tell you it's 3.14 or they give you the symbol. You should know what it is. So what did they do? They said, find the radius of each circle. Area is 64 pi square miles. So first of all, oh, it's not a number. I don't know what to do. It doesn't matter. Identify your given. My first given is that my area is 64 pi. The second thing, what is my formula? Area equal pi
IR squared.
r squared. We already know from the previous question that the square root of area divided by pi is equal to r. We just did it. So this crazy difficult problem, watch what happens. So I know what the area is. So instead of area, I'm gonna put the square root of 64.
64.
And then I'm gonna put that over pi equal r. What happens to the two pi's?
They
Cancel out.
cancel
They
out.
cancel. What's the square root of 64?
8.
Stop playing. If the
8.
radius is 8, what's the diameter?
60.
Stop
16.
playing. So you went from a difficult problem to something that's cakewalk.
Easy. Yeah.
And this is why it's important. I don't care if you get a 20. I don't care if you get a 30 on assessment. What you do is if you get a 20 on a 30, you work on it until you got it. Because everything on Schoology you are going to see. You won't waste your time. I put the concepts that's on this exam in here. Don't get discouraged if you fail. What you're going to say is, Mr. Tinsley, I know how to do number 10. So when you come Monday, or if it's on a Tuesday, you send me an email, you text it to me. I don't care how you get it to me. And then once you learn how to do it, or watch my YouTube video, but once you learn how to do it, take the quiz again. I had someone call me over the week and said, now listen, I apologize. I had this sciatic nerve in my back. I've been in so much pain. So if I missed the one-on-one and I had to reschedule, let me just say I apologize. I was just in so much pain. But let me explain something to you. I had someone call me and say, listen, Mr. Tinsley, I took the quiz 5 times already. Can you reset it? Because I can't take it anymore. Guess what? I went in there
Mhm.
Reset it so she could take them again. She took it again, got all 10 right. She took her practice test, got it right on the practice test. She this close to grade, take it again. Do not get discouraged if you fail here. This is practice. This is like if you in your kitchen and you trying to get the right ingredients for the cake that you're about to sell. Nobody is tasting your cake outside when you're experimenting. They're going to taste your cake once you got that recipe down. So you don't worry about those low scores now. You fix the problem now. So then when you introduce that cake to everybody, when you take that GED by yourself, you're going to know how to, you're going to be like, wow, all that hard work was for a reason. I passed this exam. Let me try to find one with circumference real quick. Let me try to, oh, they go one right there. But I'm going to watch this. Number 6. Can everybody see number 6?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Let's find the radius of each circle. If necessary, round to the nearest 10. It's a little different. First of all, what are we going to do first?
Identify
formula.
was given.
Identify what's given. You should hear me in your
Yeah.
ear when you taking this exam. And if you don't, something wrong.
Yep.
Circumference equals 62.8. Now,
Mm.
what else did they want us to find? The radius.
The radius.
So
radius.
since they gave us the circumference, what formula are we going to use for the formula sheet?
2n r
Or
That's not n. What's that symbol?
pi,
Pi.
pi 2 pi
2
radius.
pi r.
times the radius.
If I want to solve for the rate, again, if you do these questions enough times, when you get to the test, you're
get it.
going to know it just like that. So this is why you use your formula sheet. That's why you write each step down. Why? Because what happens, a lot of people just write answers down. And then when they go back to review for the exam, they don't know what steps they've taken.
Yeah.
Write each step down. C equal 2 pi r. If I need to solve for r, what do I need to get rid of?
2 pi
2 pi
2
on
pi.
both
The
sides.
opposite of multiplication is what?
Division.
So I'm going to divide both sides by 2 pi. On the right side, the 2's cancel, the pi's cancel. I'm left with r equal c divided by 2 pi.
2 pi.
Do I know what the circumference is?
Yeah.
62.8.
2.8.
Do I know what pi is?
Yeah.
3.
3.14.
3.1. Yeah.
3.14. So now I'm going to grab my old trusty, my friend.
That's
Matter
right.
of fact, I'm about to name my calculator because he's going to help me pass my exam. Because you got to understand, you got to understand this. You got to understand this. When you're going through hard times, you got to know who you can count on.
That's right.
So when hard times, this GED is a hard time for a whole lot of people. So you better know that this calculator is your friend. So you should name your calculator. Matter of fact, I'm going to name my calculator right now. I'm going to call him Tony. I'm going to call my calculator Tony. Because I know through these hard times with this GED exam, this calculator going to help me. So I'm going to go
Yeah.
Tony what I need to do.
Mhm.
So I got 62.8 divided by 2 times pi. What am I going to hit first on my calculator?
Second.
Second.
Nope.
No, you're gonna hit ND.
I'm going to hit ND. What I'm going to put at the top?
62.8.
62.8.
62.8. How am I going to get down to the denominator? What am I going to hit?
You're gonna
Down
push
arrow.
the down
The
button.
down
button.
arrow. I'm going to
Yeah.
write my 2. What are the parentheses for? Can anybody tell me? What operations?
Multiply.
Multiplication.
Multiplication. So 2 times pi. I got to make sure I close that parentheses. I'm going to get out of my fraction and I'm going to press enter. My radius is what?
10.
10.
10. If my radius is 10, just in case, because they might ask for the diameter, I got to be ready for both.
Mhm.
Oh wow.
If my
So-
radius is 10, what's my diameter?
20.
20.
Now I'm going to mix it up. I'm gonna throw you. I'm gonna throw another spin. in. I'm gonna throw another spin. So from the circumference, we figured out our radius was 10. What if they ask for the area of this circle? What if they ask for the area? What is the formula to find the area?
Into n pi 2.
What
N pi
where you
squared.
get this n from? No, n is not pi. Pi might look
I
like an
mean
n on the
pi
sheet.
r squared.
Anything that got to do with a
Pi r
circle is
squared.
pi.
Pi r squared.
Again, think about it. A circle, we cut slices of a pie.
Yes.
Anything to do with a circle, we got to think pi. I don't know, because see, the pi looks like an N on the formula sheet.
Pi
It's
r
a pi.
squared.
Pi r squared.
Yeah.
In order to figure out that, we need to know the radius. Do we know the radius?
Yeah.
Yes.
10.
Right. So area equal pi times 10 squared. What is 10 squared?
100.
It's 100.
100 times 3.14. If I'm multiplying by 100,
Okay.
how many places am I going to move my decimal?
2.
2.
2.
314. And because
Yeah.
it's area, it has to be squared.
Yeah.
So whatever our measurement is, remember, area is always squared, miles squared.
Mhm.
Miles.
OT.
Remember, area is always squared, volume is always cubed. So remember, that's also another important thing you got to realize. So again, what did we just do? We got they gave us the circumference, we figured out the radius, we figured out the diameter, we figured out the area. Mr. Tinsley, why do we have to do so much work? Because I want you to prepare for anything they ask you. So if they give you area, you can figure out the radius, diameter, and the circumference. If they give you the area, you can figure out the radius, diameter, and the circumference. Well, I think I said that back. If they give you circumference, you can find the radius, diameter, and the area. I don't care what they give you. But what I know is this is one of the most missed questions. So if I give you every variation, you're gonna be prepared when you take your exam. And that's what I want. I want you to call me after you finish that exam. And I want you to say, this is what most people say to me when they call. Mr. Tinsley, oh my God, that test, I thought it was difficult. I skipped like 10 problems, but I had 40 to 50 minutes left. But,
Okay.
But when I came back to those 10 problems, so a lot of them started making sense because my confidence was rolling, my self-esteem was good. And I heard you in my ear, Mr. Tinsley. So out of that 10, I think I got 3 right. But those other 7, I didn't even worry about because I knew the other ones, those easy and medium ones that you told me to focus on, I know I got most of them. And Mr. Tinsley, let me call you. I got a 158. I got a 153. I got a 151. I got a 146. I passed.
All right. All right.
That's what I like to hear. That makes my day right there. You better stop playing. So if you're taking your exam, you've been in this session, you better ask me for my number before you take that test, because you better give me a call when you pass that test. Or I'm gonna be upset at you. It's like, no, I'm kidding. But again, I'm only kidding. I ramble sometimes. But listen, understand what I'm saying. What I'm giving you is a tool that will make this a lot easier for you. First of all, when you're practicing, have your formula sheet out. If you don't have it printed out, print it out.
Yeah,
have your scrap paper, have your calculator, and work through those problems. And I want you to do the same process. So on Schoology, I have practice tests. You can flag for review in Schoology. So you can skip and flag for review and come back to it when you're finished. The same process also when you're doing these assessments, you're doing these quizzes, you're doing a practice test, time yourself, look at that timer, see how long it's taking you for each problem. So have your phone next to you for each problem, set that timer for 3 minutes. Mr. Tinsley, you know what? When you time me, I get so nervous. You might be right, but guess what? When you practice under pressure, when you take the real test, you won't feel the pressure. That's why the best thing in life is being prepared. I don't care if it's your job. I don't care if it's sports. I don't care if it's education. In order for you to be the best, you got to prepare. How you alleviate fear is you prepare. Okay? I used to be scared to talk in front of people. Now I'm talking in front of 400, 500 people. Understand, if you know your weakness, you remove that weakness. That's life.
Amen. Yeah.
There's too many obstacles in this world that you need to overcome. So if you prove to yourself the thing that you are scared the most of, that you can overcome them, guess what the other fears in your life is going to happen? You're going to hurdle them too. So when you look at that promotion, you want to look at it in a positive light. When you look at that coworker who's talking about you behind your back, you ain't going to get mad. You're going to you're just going to be better than her.
And get greater later.
You better stop playing. You better stop playing. Life got a whole lot of obstacles. You better be ready to jump. or you're gonna fall on your face. Keep falling on your face too many times, you're gonna get in trouble. Now, next question. 6. Oh my God, time is flying. What's the next question? Anything else people have problems with? Let me see. Anything else? I can find some more, but let me find some. Oh, here we go. Lovely. Here we go. Let me open this real
Mr.
quick.
Tinsley,
Yes.
do you, I haven't noticed yet, but I need to like figure out how to find the area or the volume of composite figures.
Okay. I got you.
I haven't gotten
Let's go.
that far yet, but I know that was what we talked about last week.
Listen,
that I know I
don't
missed.
even worry about it, because I'm about to show you the easiest way to do it. Don't stress it. What happens is when people see these composite, oh, it didn't even open. Why didn't it open? My Adobe has been messing up. I've been opening up these same files for years, and now all of a sudden they won't open, and I don't know why. I checked my computer for viruses, but what we'll do is I'll make one up. Don't even worry about it. I'll make one up.
Okay.
So, for example, let's go. Boop, boop, boop. What is the area of this composite figure? What? I don't even know what they're giving me.
Yeah.
That's the first thing.
Yeah.
You want to break it down into
yep.
smaller sections. So instead of trying to find the area of this whole thing, what you realize is I have a rectangle and I have a half circle.
Half circle. Yep.
So first I want to
apart.
find the area of the rectangle. So area of a rectangle is length times width.
96.
And then I'm going to add that to the area of a circle, pi r squared. But I only have a half of a circle.
Yeah.
So
Wouldn't that
pi
be 6?
r squared divided by 2.
Okay.
So this is for the half circle. This is for the rectangle.
Okay.
So what's the length and width of the rectangle?
96.
8 and 12.
9 is 8, 12 and 8 is 96. That was easy.
Yeah.
But the thing you have to realize is that opposite sides are equal.
Equal, yes. Yeah.
So what they actually gave you was the
12.
diameter of the half circle.
And you got to put the 6.
Yep.
So if I know my diameter is 12, I know my radius is what?
6.
6. Oh, okay.
And now I'm just going to plug that in. So plus pi times 6 squared divided by 2, which is 3.14 times 36 divided by 2. Now, again, I don't want to mess up. So I'm going to call on my friend Tony. Tony has always been there for me. When I'm having a rough time, I call on Tony. So I'm going to get Tony again. Let's go get Tony. And you might be laughing. I just made that up tonight.
That's funny.
Now, let me erase some things so I can get this out the way. So I'm going to erase this left side real quick. Because Tony needs some room. We got to make some room for Tony. You know, he's been there for us. We got to get that extra room ready for him a little bit. Yeah, so I'm going to move this over. Make it a little smaller. Look at technology. Look what I can do. Look at that.
Yes, it's awesome.
Look at, I love technology. I love it. Now, watch what we do though. ND 3.14 times 6 squared. Hold on a second. I thought you said 36. You're right. I don't even have to do that. I can let the calculator do all the work. Divided by 2 plus 12 times 8. Bam. 152.52. So my area of this composite shape is 152.52 square feet or feet squared.
Okay, I got it. So does that work for any and every composite figure now?
Yep.
Because I remember in my test, I gave half answer. So when I went back, I noticed like I didn't know how to combine all of them, so now I get it. Because I don't
I'ma
have
give
an
you- I'ma give-
answer.
I'm gonna give you one more example so we can see it. Let me
Okay.
see if I can find it. I'm hoping, I'm really hoping I can find it because it wouldn't let me open it a second ago. Let me see. So what I'm gonna do is they have the answers, but I'm gonna open up the one with the answers because that's the one I can find right now. So I'm gonna open up the one with the answers right now. And even though it has the answers, we're gonna do the problem. Let's see, download. Open. Oh, I see it. My computer, it upgraded itself. I hate having the answers, but hey, we're gonna make it work. So what I did was actually recreated this sheet without the answers. But
That's smart.
I know it's here. Been using this sheet for like 2 years. And now I can't find it. See, let me just slow down. I'll go slow. I was trying to go fast through here. And the reason why I took the answers out, because I don't want you to have the answers. I want you. So here you go right here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna show the answers. So again, this is a composite figure. But this composite figure is made up of 2 rectangles. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split it up right now, right there. So this is going to be rectangle 1. This is going to be rectangle 2. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to have 2 different colors. So this is rectangle 1. So what you should see right away is that the length is 80 feet. So 80 times the width, but I don't know the width, do I? They didn't give it to me. I don't know from here to here, correct? But what I do know is if here to here is 100 and
So
here
it's
to
half.
here is 60, what's
60.
this right here?
40.
40.
40.
So now I know that this is 40. Why? Because this whole thing was 100. Up to here is 60. That means what's left here is 40. So 80 times 40. Got me?
320.
80
Where did you
times
guys get 40?
8 times
Because
4.
they separate in half of the side of 80. That's all.
So see this right here, from here to here is 100. You see that? From here to here is 60. Understand that?
All right.
So that means here to here is going to be 100 minus 60.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah.
Okay, got me. Now, let's look at this second rectangle. I'm going to make that blue. Oops, I erased it here. Hold on, let me go back to red. 80 times 4.
I hope you're screenshotting all of this so I could go back.
I am.
Thank you.
And then we have this rectangle. So again, we know one part of it is 60. You should be able to see that that's 60. But we don't know right here. But what we do know is from here to here is 80. What we do know is from here to here is 60. So that means this is going to be what?
20.
20. So now this second rectangle is 60 by 20. So the first one was 80 by 40. The second one was 60 by 20. What's 80 by 40?
1200. Oh,
8 times 4 is what?
32.
32, and we got 2 zeros, 3,200. We look at the second rectangle, 60 by 20. What's 60 times 20?
1200.
1,200. So now, the area of the first composite shape is 3,200. The area of the second composite shape is 1,200. What are we going to do to those 2 numbers?
Add
Combine them.
It's going to be 4,400. Mr. Tinsley, I have a question. I have a question.
Yeah.
Now, I seen this problem like this done. And basically what they did was they times 80 times 100.
Okay.
And then they did 60 times 60 and they subtracted it.
Right. So
Mhm.
look what it,
To
so look
give
what you have
yeah,
here.
yeah,
So
to
you
give
have
four, yeah.
one big yard.
Yeah, yeah,
That's 80 by 100.
yeah, the whole, yeah, yeah.
And I love it. I love when people come up with different ways. So what's 100 times 80?
100 times 80, oh, wait a minute, it's
800.
8,000.
8,000. I mean,
8,000.
oh my.
8 times
Yeah.
1 is 8. How many zeros do I have? 3.
Yeah, 3.
So the total area.
Yeah,
But if I want to take this out, what operation do I need to do?
you gotta
Subtract.
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 Minus.
So what's 60 times 60?
3,600,
Yeah,
What is 8,000 minus 3,600?
4,400.
44.
Then we
That's what
get
I
the
got.
same answer.
yes, we
Yes.
do.
Stop playing.
Yeah.
It's more than one way to skin the cat.
I
I
like
don't know
that
where that
cat.
came from, but my grandfather used to say it, so I've been saying it all these years.
I've seen that on a test, and I feel like it's a lot of work. I wish it was an easier way to do that. That's a lot of
That
pencil
was
work.
how,
It's not a lot of work. It's a lot of work when you say it's a lot of work. If you
Yeah.
tell your mind something is hard, it's going to be hard. If you tell your mind something is going to be difficult, it's going to be difficult. So you tell your mind, I got to break this down into smaller parts and I can do it.
Yeah, that's
Listen,
true.
your mind is very powerful. How you overcome most things in your life, anxiety, fear, is you look at it in a different way. So if you look at something as hard, it's going to be hard. If you look at something that's going to be difficult, listen, I'm going to tell you right here. And I'm going to pause the recording right here because we almost done. Let me stop sharing. And I'm going to pause the recording. 3. 1, 2, 3.
I'm
I'm
going
I
to
can
do
do it.
it.
I'm going to do it. That's right.